Welcome back. This is Breezing Through, and I'm Emily. So, first off, yes, I'm dealing with hives on my face. It's not acne. It looks like cystic acne, actually, but it is, in fact, hives. The last time I had hives on my face was when I was doing international conference planning back in like 2013, 2015. So, I'm not sure what's happening here. We do have a pretty big weekend coming up where a lot of families coming into town. We have a lot of events, along with some other things that are happening, but not to the extent that would cause me to break out in hives on my face. I'm also dealing with probably the worst haircut of my life. The hairstylist that I used to see before we went to Argentina stopped taking clients that weren't more than like a color. So if you were just getting a haircut, I think she had too many clients. And so if you were just getting a haircut, she's not taking those clients anymore, which I get it. She has her own space. If her books were full or she didn't want her books as full, I get it. Now I'm in the process of finding a new stylist. Saw someone in January. It was fine. Still trying to find someone that I really love. Saw someone on Saturday and I wanted layers and curtain bangs, things I've done in the past. Nothing too far out of the norm, but it's not great. I'm actually going to have it redone tomorrow because I'm so unhappy with it. Like, I've never done that before. So hopefully this new person that I'm going to can fix this. I honestly don't care what it looks like and lengthwise. Like, I did cut a lot of it off, but I just want it to look good. I don't want it to look ridiculous, which is why it's back like it is, because otherwise I have just two layers. I have like a layer here and a layer here, and it's not great. Anyway, let's talk about what today's video is. So today I'm sharing a fairly simple DIY project and something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. When we moved into our house, one of my big things has been updating our spaces. So not just utilizing the space that we have to meet our needs, but also to make it feel more like us, because we lived in apartments for so long and I really didn't do anything in those apartments. And one of the places I started was my daughter's bathroom. I added vertical shiplap next to her bathtub so I could hang hooks, because if anybody has kids, you understand towel rods and kids just do not mix well. And so I painted and I changed out the hardware on her vanity and her sink and everything. It is super cute. The one thing I did not do was her mirror. So we bought our house directly from the builder, which means everything's builder grade, including the mirrors in the bathrooms. And I didn't do anything to it. It's still the edgeless, very large mirror. I did add a frame to the mirror in the loft bathroom when I redid that space a year or two later, but I've kind of been holding off in my daughter's bathroom. I'd seen different things. I'd seen like there's a company that you can get like frames for mirrors like this, where all you have to do is pick the design, the size, and they send it to you and you just snap it on, and it's really cool. I liked that idea, but I wasn't sold on it yet. And so I kept waiting. And then I kept seeing a couple of different people doing these resin mirror frames. And you can see these online. Pottery Barn has them. Anthropologie has them, where they're resin like flower frames. And I thought that was perfect. So I decided that's what I was going to do. And I consulted with my daughter on color, on what flowers she wanted. She wanted more flower styles than we went with, because she wanted all the flowers. But I decided to keep it a little bit more cohesive, and I did throw in some butterflies. I love the butterflies in here. I think it looks super cute. The one thing I will say that is the most time consuming about this project, because otherwise this project is super easy. The most time consuming part is hand painting all the flowers. I don't think spray painting would work because of the resin. It really needed like a rough, like first coat of paint to like kind of soak into the resin, and then needed additional coats. I'm not sure I would love how spray paint would look on those. So I decided to hand paint them. If you want to spray paint them, you can spray paint them. But other than that, it's a fast project because the resin takes 10 minutes to dry. So you pour it 10 minutes later. You can do this probably within a week, but it takes a week because of all the drying times. And then gluing it onto the frame was super easy as well. I used a clear construction adhesive. Super easy. I was a little bit worried that they would shift. They did not. It was great. So let's get started on the project. I'll walk you through how I did it. And then there are a few things that I would change or do differently, and I'll talk about that at the end. So first, let me take you on a tour of my daughter's bathroom. This is what it looked like before I did anything to it. And then this is what it looked like after. And as you can see, there's nothing on the mirror. So to get started on the actual project, I got these 6 silicone molds, and then I bought this resin, which I will link in my blog post. I ended up getting 4 boxes of this resin because I initially only would have needed 3, but because I decided to experiment and do all of the flowers, I ended up needing a 4th box. This resin is super easy to deal with. It is a 1-to-1 ratio from each bottle. You mix it together for a minute and then you pour it into each mold. And you know it's actually working because the liquid starts to heat up, and so it's warm as you pour it. And once it's cooled off, you know it's time to pull them out of the mold. It is very important when working with resin to wear gloves and eye protection because this stuff is very, very strong when you're pouring it. The liquid form is not great for any kind of exposure to eyes, skin, children also, for example. So making sure you have the right personal protection is very, very important. And you want to do this in a well-ventilated area. I just did this in my kitchen and it was totally fine. I also, as you can see, used a garbage bag to protect the surface so that anything that fell onto the garbage bag didn't damage my table. And as you can see, the resin is drying and curing as I am adding more resin to the molds. So that dry time is really, really quick. I did try to be consistent about the depth for each pour in every mold, but that just wasn't possible because I'm not capable of doing that. So I was trying to be consistent. And then when I actually lined everything up for the mirror, I tried to line everything up so they were similar depths in certain areas. But I'll talk about that more in a minute. For an entire box of resin, so these 2 bottles that you mix together, I was able to fill all of the molds that you see in this video. So 1 box of the resin mixture was able to fill 41 of these molds. The far right mold is the green one. That's roses. I didn't end up using those for this mirror project, but it's still, I'm counting those in the 41, even though some of them are really tiny. And as you can see, the demolding process was super easy. Everything just popped right out of each mold. And honestly, I don't feel like I had any issues with any of the molds or with the resin. Everything came out really, really nicely. And I'm really happy with how easy this was to use. I will say that different molds resulted with different finishes with the resin. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I had a couple of duplicates with these flowers. So the pink mold had both of the daisy and the tulip, and then the blue mold had the daisy and 2 other flowers. So I noticed that the blue mold daisy and the pink mold daisy came out differently. The blue mold one came out shiny and the pink mold one came out matte. Just something to keep in mind. So once I was done with making all of the flowers and the butterflies, I then started painting. I decided that hand painting was going to be the better option because there were a lot of nooks and crannies here, and with how the paint was adhering to the flowers, I realized that spray paint might not actually adhere to it. Sometimes that happens with spray paint, so you want to keep that in mind when you're looking at which way you want to paint something. I decided to do a test just to see if hand painting or spray painting was going to be best, and I landed with hand. So the way I did this, because there were so many flowers and butterflies to do, is I did them in just sections. And I did a original coat of paint first just to get it on there to kind of give it something for the rest of the paint to adhere to. And that coat of paint I gave the longest to dry. Often it was overnight. And then after that, I would then go and do the 2nd and 3rd coats of paint. I did find that painting the edges first and then painting the top was the best way to go. That way I could make sure everything was smooth and even, and I did in fact also get the sides. Like I said earlier, this was the most time consuming part of this project just because it took so long to paint everything. There were so many flowers. But the way I did this was like I said, I would typically do a coat of paint at night after my kids had gone to bed. And then I could typically get a 2nd coat of paint in the morning after I'd taken my daughter to school. And then I could typically get a 3rd coat of paint in at lunch. So I could do it within 12 hours. It wasn't too bad. And then sometimes some of them needed little touch-ups, just depending. And then I did this in 4 batches. This was for my sanity. If you feel like you could do all of this at once, then I would say go for it and you can get it knocked out in 12 hours. That would be awesome. Me personally, with kids and a life and other things I have going on, I couldn't do it all at once. And ADHD. Before I started painting anything, I did spend some time with my mom trying to figure out the best way to lay these out. I didn't film that, but I'm going to show you what we ended up with now. So first, what I did is I taped out the measurements of the mirror on my floor. That gave me a really nice space to work with. And I made sure that the tape end to end was the width of the mirror and end to end was the length of the mirror. Getting those measurements right is critical when doing something like this because if it's just a little bit off, it's going to end up being fun. So as you can see here, I'm utilizing the large daisies, these smaller detailed daisies, and then the smaller kind of replica of the larger daisy, along with butterflies. The butterflies and the larger daisies I used less of, and they're just kind of just to break up the pattern a little bit. So what I did is across the top, I did a large daisy, small detailed daisy, small daisy, butterfly, and I repeated that pattern all the way across. And it just so happened that a butterfly landed in the middle of both the top and the bottom frame, so that gave me some symmetry, which was really nice. Now the sides were a little bit different because obviously the lengths were different than the top and the bottom, so I did change the pattern up a little bit, but I still really am happy with how it ended up. As you can see, it really wasn't that long for me to then line everything up after I'd painted, just again to double check everything to make sure it looked good, because I did have to do some changing of some of the pattern on the sides, but it all ended up working out okay. Then it was time to start gluing stuff onto the mirror. I used this clear construction adhesive, and I put some on the back of each flower, and then I pressed them onto the mirror. I was very worried that they were going to fall, but this adhesive actually held really well and started to dry very quickly, which is nice. Yes, I know the light bulb is out in my daughter's bathroom. I'm currently out of light bulbs and I need to get more, but I wanted to do the project and get this out to you first before I changed the light bulb in her bathroom. Anyway, I just followed the pattern that I had laid out and everything came out really nicely. I did have to scooch a few things over to the left just a teeny tiny bit to make sure everything lined up evenly, but it came out really nicely. I was honestly very surprised. When I did the top row, I was gluing each flower individually and then placing them on, but I realized it was so much faster and so much easier to glue all of the flowers for whatever side I was working on and then place them. It was just a whole lot easier to work with everything that way. I did decide the best way to do this was to glue the flowers and the butterflies so they're half on, half off the mirror, so it really did look like a frame. I did the top of the mirror first, then the two sides, and then the bottom. Sadly, with the bottom, I did not have as much wall to work with because there is this kind of backsplash that is a continuation of the countertop that goes up on the wall. And I wasn't going to move the mirror because I didn't want to, because then I would have had to paint, and I also would have had to make sure I moved the mirror without shattering it, which is a concern with these size of mirrors. So I don't love how that ended up looking. It's just my least favorite part. I honestly probably could have just left the bottom part off and it would have been fine. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. Here is the mirror. I think it looks so good, especially the top and the sides. Still not 100% sold on the bottom, but it looks so much better than it did before. It was very plain before, which is fine. Again, that's your cup of tea. Go for it. But this is a not very expensive way to upgrade a mirror in your house without having to remove it or add anything super expensive or super time consuming to it. Okay, so what do you think? I really like it. My one gripe is the bottom part. The problem is I have that countertop that has kind of like that short backsplash on it where I couldn't put the flowers and the butterflies half on and half off the mirror like I did everywhere else. So I don't love that, honestly. Part of the reason why I did it this way is I didn't have to move the mirror at all. There was no shifting of the mirror because it can be hard to move these kinds of mirrors, and especially without them shattering. And then if I did move it, I'd have to paint the area that I'd moved because that hasn't been painted. So there were aspects to this that if I could, I would have shifted it up and changed it. Honestly, if I could, I probably would have just taken the mirror off and done a whole different mirror, probably a little bit smaller. And technically, let's be technical, I could have. I chose not to because I didn't want to. Let's be honest here. The other thing I would do differently is I would have painted all the backs of the flowers and the butterflies because you can definitely see the white. It's not super obvious. You have to be like up close next to the mirror. You cannot see it from far away, but you can see it in some of the videos as I'm zooming out. I wasn't sure how clear that would be, and I didn't honestly want to take the time to paint all of them by hand on the back, but there are some that it's more visible than others. So going forward, if I do this again, which I very well might because I really like how it looks, especially if we end up moving to a new home, that is not in the works, just to be clear. But I would definitely paint the backs of them. So if you're looking at doing this project, make sure you paint the backs because some of them you definitely can't tell. Other ones, no, it's a little bit more borderline, and I wish I'd done that. So let me know in the comments what you think and what kind of mirror you would have done. I do have some other fun flower resin projects that I'm going to be doing that I'm excited about because when I was doing the flowers for this mirror, I just got a bunch of different forms and filled all of them, especially at first, which obviously was not the best idea. I needed to get extra resin because of that, but I ended up with more flowers that I ended up painting, and I love them, especially these blue ones. I love how these turned out. I'm going to do something fun with these. And I also have these tulips. Look at the tulips. I'm excited. Anyway, so I'll have more projects for that coming up. And I can't wait to show you. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.